Hello everyone, welcome to Crystal Eclipse. My name is Jessica. In this video, we'll be asking the cards about your future spouse or your life partner, whichever you prefer, and the way they'll describe you to their family. This was a request, and I'm just trying to follow up on some requests. I have 4 stacks for you all today. Here we have Rose Quartz, Cherry Blossom Agate, Clear Quartz, and lastly, we have Obsidian. So choose whichever stack or stacks call out to you. You can check the description box or the comment section for timestamps if you'd like to skip directly to the stack or stacks you've chosen. Starting with our first stack here, and this rose quartz or pink quartz, and how your future spouse or life partner will describe you to their family. First, we have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Acorns with action and drive, and lastly, we have No Place Like Home. So with these cards here, and this future spouse or this life partner of yours, whichever you prefer, I'm seeing a lot of like very important aspects coming out within these cards. Mostly with this Page of Pentacles and this No Place Like Home, the two of them make me think that this is like a very special relationship to them. This is something that they haven't had before. This is something that is like a new depth. And it seems like with previous relationships, like they've sort of gone through things and they've wanted, you know, certain things to go well, and they hoped for a lot when it came to those relationships, but they weren't ever successful in the way that they had hoped for. They never got to the stage that they had desired, and I think in a lot of ways it's like they never felt like they could be a family with their partners until you came along. And I see that family aspect really coming out a lot with this first stack here. It seems like this future spouse or this life partner really sees you as part of the family. When I see the Page of Pentacles here, I always see it as like the one that stands out, the one that's sort of special, the one that's unlike everybody else. Even with this Seven of Cups coming in second, like right after that first card, we're seeing somebody who stands out, something that is hidden away, something that is just very special and unlike everything else. Almost like they could have all the material wealth that they want, you know, they can have everything they desire, but they haven't had somebody quite special enough to really make them feel at home, or like they're with family when they're with their partners until you came along. You are such a different person to them. When they talk about you to their family, when they describe you to their family, all they talk about is how comfortable they are with you, how happy they are with you, how you make them feel so special, so just at peace with them. It's a completely different relationship style with you than with any of their previous relationships or anybody else that they've had in their life. It's a completely different like mentality that they have when it comes to this relationship, when it comes to your future spouse or your future life partner and you and their family. It's all about like them just investing heavily into this relationship. They see this as something special. It's very unique. It's very like everything that they have hoped for, but they really, it seems like here, didn't imagine that this could really be true. Like they could find somebody that matches them so perfectly. And with that action and drive coming in with the Knight of Acorns, it makes me think a lot about how much effort they're going to put into this relationship and how they're going to make that clear to their family, how they're going to tell their family like this is something that is worth working very hard for. It's worth like all the difficulties, anything that might happen. They want to invest heavily into this relationship, and they constantly tell their family that like this is something very special. This is something very different, very peaceful, but very exciting. Something that gives them everything, you know, like the joy at home, but also the ability to travel with somebody, the ability to just, you know, bond on a very special level with somebody else. It's completely different for them. That's really what I'm seeing across the board here with this stack here, and how they describe you to their family. Just like you are so special, so loving, so deserving of like greatness, of them working incredibly hard. But the one card here that really honestly stands out to me, even though we sort of see the Page of Pentacles holding this up and like looking at this coin like this is the key to their future, this is the most special coin that they have. We see that the Knight of Acorns is just, you know, full steam ahead toward that sun, that brightness. We even see with the Seven of Cups, it's representing somebody who has like many options in front of them, but it's finally has like they have a clear idea of what they want. But the card that's standing out to me here is No Place Like Home. Because when I see no place like home in a romance reading or a relationship reading, whether it's like friendship, platonic, you know, or romantic with like some sort of love interest, when I see that, I see it as somebody who is different, somebody who is very special, somebody who can calm down a person, somebody who can understand a person, somebody who can be the type that is always there for somebody else during happy times, during sad times, when they need somebody, you know, to support them, to cheer them on, when they need somebody that they can just cry with. This is somebody who is represented within this No Place Like Home card. It is somebody who brings them pure happiness, pure joy, pure love. It's nothing that is tainted. It's not damaged. It's not, you know, corrupt. There's nothing else to this card. This is just somebody who is very special, and special enough to make somebody feel happy and just completely happy, just like they can forget about all the issues in the world when it comes to work, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to money, when it comes to other family. When they're with you, they can forget about everything else, and you are something special. And this is coming across all of these cards. Like, this is not just a regular relationship or another relationship in their book. This is something that's completely different. So the way that they describe you to their family, the words they use, the way they just communicate who you are to them, makes it very clear to their family that you're something very special, that they really truly care about you and want to work incredibly hard to have you and keep you in their life. And I think the family also sees that, making me think that the family also is like immediately accepting of you and very embracing of you. But that's what I'm seeing here with this first stack and rose quartz. Just seems like you're somebody who's almost like a diamond, like a diamond in the rough, you know, somebody who they almost didn't expect to just adore, and then all of a sudden it's like it becomes very clear to them that you are just a very, very special person. But that's what I'm seeing here with this first stack and this rose quartz. If this is your only reading, or if this is where you're stopping, I want to thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope that you and all your loved ones are doing well and staying safe and healthy. I appreciate any comments, likes, or subscriptions, and I want to thank you so much for even leaving a like or a comment, even just, you know, visiting this video, clicking on this video. So please have a wonderful day, week, and year. If there's a question you like asked in a future pick a card video, feel free to leave it in the comment section. Bye bye. Starting with our second stack here, and Cherry Blossom Agate. We have our first card, the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Chariot, the High Priestess with intuition and sacred knowledge, and lastly we have the Fates. So with this stack here and your future spouse, your life partner, the way that they'll describe you to their family, the way they'll speak about you, what they'll say, I see being very similar to the first stack, where it's a very special relationship. But with this one, there's a little bit of something different going on here. We're seeing a lot of stars here and skies, but also some moons represented. So all these cards tie in to each other. The one that's standing out for me right now immediately is the Fates. And the Fates is standing out to me because I always see it as a sign that there's a higher power playing in here, that this is a heavily guided situation. So somebody else, you know, whoever it is that you look to for guidance, whatever higher power you speak to or you request help from, this person is or this being is what's guiding you together. And this person seems like the type that really sees that, like there's a message somewhere, and they know, like immediately when you meet, they know when you're talking that this is a long-term relationship. They know that like this is a life partner, this is a spouse, this is like not one of those quick and over relationships. This is something that's very like secure. This is something that they're going to work very hard on, and it's because there's something that tells them that this is long term, this is forever. This seems like such a strong bond here. With the Knight of Pentacles coming in here first, I see it as like this knight has sort of found this pentacle and is really happy about it. Like they found something that excites them, and it's like they're rushing somewhere to show everyone. So that's how I feel like immediately when I see that card. I think this is how they inform their relatives, their friends, their family, everyone. They're like, I found this person, look at who it is I found. This person's completely different. Like, this is something that I think they're super excited about, because there's more to this. There's more to this relationship. Could have been that there was maybe a relationship before this that just didn't go well, or this is something that they really feel strongly attached to. Like, this is their first super serious relationship. Either way, whether it's something that they feel like they haven't had in a while, or this is just their first serious relationship, I see them like wanting to tell everyone. Like, they're running to their families, just talking about you, telling them how wonderful you are. We see the Chariot here, and it's interesting because the two cards sort of have different imagery due to the illustration style. I see this first knight as sort of like fun and youthful, so you see that happiness, that young sort of heart that's represented in that. But at the same time, we see the Chariot coming in with that strength and that like serious appearance, you know, something where we know it's not just a child that's saying like, I plan on doing this, or like, I want to be a superhero when I grow up. This is somebody who's very serious. So when they go to their family, even though they have this fun, like, the happiness is so pure and highly energetic about you when they're describing you, there's also this serious side to them where they're explaining how they feel in a way that really communicates to their family that this is something that's serious. It's not just some simple relationship. They're not just like overboard about it because you know, that's just, you know, their personality. This is something that they really want to communicate to others as being something very important, something very big to them, something that they know is long term. Especially with that High Priestess coming in here. The High Priestess with intuition and sacred knowledge is all about really knowing things, being wise, being able to really evaluate a situation, be very smart about things, not, you know, not like jumping into things. So it's all about really having that ability to think clearly, really being able to understand the situation, even though it might seem like to others that this is something that they're too invested in, or they're moving too fast. To them, they know what this relationship is, and I think it's very clear to their family, where even if their family thinks that it might be moving too fast, it's changed pretty quickly. Like, they move right into this sort of like, oh, this must be somebody special, and they're very accepting rather quickly, their family. And it's all because of that Fates card. We start off with that star over here in the Pentacles card. We see the star on the Chariot's crown. We also see the moons sort of represented on his shoulders, the stars on the actual Chariot. Then we move into this card with the moon and all the stars. So we're seeing it constantly represented. And then finally the stars here. So it's something that is like a light bulb. There's something very special here that tells them like, this is from a higher power. Like, this is something that is not like on just a normal plane. This is like a soulmate relationship. The universe has brought you two together, and I really see them as thinking about it this way. And that's the way that they present you to their family, to their parents. They say, this is something else, you know, this is a soulmate. This is somebody that they want to be with forever. This is like long-term, permanent. Like, this is one and done that I'm seeing here. It's something that's very you know, very exciting for them, something that they're very happy with. But it's really that Fates card is really saying that this is something that they know is very special, something that they're really heavily invested in. Well, that's what I'm seeing here with this second stack and the Cherry Blossom Agate. If this is where you're stopping, or if this was your only reading, I want to thank you so much for watching whatever portion of the video you have. I hope that you and all your loved ones are doing well and staying safe and healthy. If there's a question you would like asked in a future pick a card video, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I appreciate any likes, comments, or new subscribers. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Starting up with our third stack here and this clear quartz. We have our first card when it comes to your future spouse or life partner and how they'll describe you to their family. We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, the Moon with imagination and perception, and lastly we have Fork in the Road. So with this card coming in last here with Fork in the Road and the Nine of Pentacles, makes me think that there are possibly some previous relationships that didn't really work well for them, and their family is sort of wary about a lot of people just because they're like, you know, they haven't seen any long-lasting relationships or anything that they really want to invest themselves in. So it's more like they want to keep their own distance so that they don't grow attached to somebody who might, you know, not be successful. But it's interesting because that Nine of Pentacles is all about hard work and showing that hard work. So it's not like it's one day here. This is a long time that's represented within this one card. So we see the Nine of Pentacles representing hard work over an extended duration, months, years. You know, it's not just overnight. And I think that's, to me, is a buildup. So when it comes to this future spouse of yours, when it comes to this life partner, I see them wanting to take their time before they introduce you to their family, because they want that, you know, that clarity. They want to make sure that they're showing that this relationship is long term. It's not like they want to just introduce you immediately the moment you meet. But I see it as them taking this step in a way to show their family their mindset, that this isn't something that's quick moving, that they just threw themselves into. We also have the clear quartz represented here as the stone, and clear quartz is all about clarity in a situation, understanding the situation, not having a like foggy vision of what's going on. So they're really heavily thinking about what's going on here. And I also think they're not the type to introduce people to their parents. They haven't really met that many people that they feel are really close enough to introduce to their parents or family. And it could also be that they've never had a relationship where they have had the opportunity to introduce them to their family. But here with that Nine of Pentacles coming in and that fork in the road, it's making me think it's all about like a relationship where they're trying to show how serious they are, but also making sure that it's progressing in a way that doesn't cause any issue. So even if you're worried about maybe meeting their family, I would say that they're very considerate of that. They watch it closely, and they try not to push you into a situation that you're uncomfortable with. So it really is all about like just the timing, working heavily on timing that doesn't poorly affect anyone. We also see the moon coming in here with imagination and perception, represented with that, or represented by that owl. And that's all about wisdom, you know, being wise, really carefully planning things out, understanding the situation, making sure that the decisions made don't have a negative impact. And that all ties directly back into that fork in the road and that Nine of Pentacles, with really planning things out so that the situation goes as smoothly as possible. They want to make sure that neither you nor their family is you know, put in a difficult spot. But I feel like when they do talk about you, because we have this Six of Cups card, it's all about just romance, love, how pure this is, just the things that they like about you that are just like the simplest things. You know, it's not like they don't go overboard and say like, you know, things that aren't believable. They just describe you in a way that really shows their family that this is a different relationship, that this is a relationship that's much more grounded than anything else. And I see with this Six of Cups card, I always see it as like a pure romance, one that isn't you know, affected by just life. You know, there's no money involved in this. There's nothing about like doing something and making sure everybody knows about it. This is not like, you know, telling the world that you're in a relationship. It's all about those little things that really unite you two together, that really show that you two are in a committed relationship, and one that's very understanding and built very strongly. It's not one that's thrown together. I think this person is somebody who really wants to ensure longevity in a relationship. And that's why we're sort of seeing this like slow and steady sort of approach to a relationship. They really want to make sure that this is built up in a way that you both really understand each other. You both get along well with each other. You understand like where sometimes the other person might have issues or might not be as like easily understood. You know, like you're really able to understand each other, really get like on the same page. And there's this almost like a depth to like a psychic connection between you two, where you can really see how just it's like you can just be in the same room as each other and almost escape from the rest of the world. That's really what I'm seeing here. And that's how they describe you to their family, as just this person that is unlike everyone else. Somebody who makes them happy, somebody who makes them feel very loved, and somebody who wants to love others. So they're one who who is very expressive of their love toward you, and they show their family, or they tell their family that this is how they feel. So I see it as almost like they're hesitating because they don't want to make you feel uncomfortable or their family uncomfortable, but I see it mostly as just a really considerate person, somebody who has a lot of wisdom and is very thought out. Like they think a lot about the way that they progress through relationships. But that's what I'm seeing with this third stack here and the clear quartz. If this was your only reading, or if this is where you're stopping, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If there's a question you would like asked in a future pick a card video, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I appreciate any comments, likes, or new subscribers. If you choose to do any of those, I thank you. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Starting with our fourth stack here, and this obsidian stone. Now, when it comes to your future spouse or your life partner and the way that they describe you to their family, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Shells with charm and passion, and lastly, we have a leg up. So with all of these cards, I really see a lot of descriptions or descriptors about you, and it all seems like just every special part of you, they tell their family so much about you, just like how they see you. And this Queen of Pentacles coming out first alongside this knight, well, the two knights. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Shells, but when I see the Knight of Shells with charm and passion, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles here, I think of like the way that they just talk about you. Like they really just can't see any flaws with you. They talk about how wonderful you are, how kind you are, how considerate you are, how attractive you are, how smart you are, how loving you are. Like everything that there is to say about you, they tell their family. They just go on and on about how they just think you're wonderful and like practically flawless. There's something that's just so great about you, and they just, they can't stop expressing it. They will never find enough words to describe you, especially with that Queen of Pentacles here, because I see it as somebody who is a great balance of like strength and compassion. We see somebody who in this picture is like, it's a queen. We know it's a queen, but she's sitting out there with her animals. It's almost like every day you don't see her as a queen, even though she is. And that's what you are. You seem like, even though you can be this like really strong minded person, a very smart, intelligent person, very capable person, at the same time you're very relaxed and calm and kind and almost like very welcoming as a person. Like you make people feel very comfortable around you. Then with that charm and passion, it's like they just think you're super gorgeous. They just think you're like incredibly attractive, and they can't describe you enough to them. Like there are no words really that I think that they can ever use enough to communicate like the way that they feel about you. Also feel with that Knight of Pentacles coming in next to that Queen of Pentacles, we're seeing the way that they view you as a person, as a partner in life. I see both as sort of having a connection with each other. Like this knight has gone out in search of the person that is like their soulmate, the person that they're supposed to be with, this person that is like the other half of them. And I always feel like when the way he's holding that pentacle out, it's like he has it guiding him somewhere. And with this, it seems like they've waited a while for a relationship, or they've really been sort of standoffish when it comes to relationships. I think this person has wanted to be in a committed relationship, but they haven't had access to somebody, or they haven't had the ability to find somebody who wants a committed relationship. So I see it as like, if they have had previous relationships, it seems like nobody ever wanted what they wanted, and they've constantly been in search of that person who wants what they want. They just want longevity. They want a lifetime. They don't want something that's over fast. They really want to invest heavily in a relationship. And I think it just seems like for them, they've just had a hard time finding somebody. And I think their family knows that, and that's why we're seeing that leg up come in at the end here with this polar bear and little cub. It seems like the family knows that they've had some struggles, and they want somebody who wants the same thing as them to come into their life. And this future spouse of yours, the way that they describe you is you being that person, the one that is finally the one that wants longevity, the one that wants long-term and is willing to work on long-term, not give up or not be frustrated. They really see it as you're the person that's going to give them what they had hoped for all those years. And that's why the Queen of Pentacles comes in first, as being the queen, the other half, the better half, the one that they've hoped for a long time, but never like gotten. You know, there can be princesses, there can be a court, there can be a ton of other people in a royal environment, but there's only one queen, and that's who they've been hoping for. And it's almost like here, like they've been holding out this pentacle trying to find a match, but they haven't been able to find it yet until they finally find the Queen of Pentacles. And it's like a light bulb going off for them, something that really shows that, like, almost like they're being guided, like that's a star that's guiding them to you. But with those cards here, it just seems like they just describe you like you're wonderful. They just always talk about you and how amazing you are, and how much, you know, they can't believe that they found somebody who finally is what they had hoped for. With a leg up here, I think the family's response to it is very positive. The family is very supportive of this relationship, very supportive of you coming in. They just seem like they're just very, very happy that there's finally somebody that's come in that really matches, you know, that can be that completion for them, that other half. But overall, it just seems like they just think you're wonderful. They go on about how you know, how nice you are, how kind you are, how smart you are, how loving you are, how attractive you are. Like it's really like they can't get enough of just how perfect you are for them. That's what I'm seeing here with this fourth stack and Obsidian. If this is your only reading, or if this is where you're stopping, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, or whatever portion of the video you have. If there's a question you would like asked in the future pick a card video, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I hope that you and all your loved ones are doing well and staying safe and healthy. And I appreciate any likes or comments, and if you've subscribed, I'm very appreciative of all of those things. As always, please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye.